Hello, guys, and we are here for some awesome game day bingo action. This should be some great stuff that we have ahead of us as we have some great prizes on the line. The major prize overshadowing that minor jackpot. As you take it home in 53 balls or less, you'll be taking home $5,250. Looking great in this very first game. We got that mega prize sitting at $35,991. You could take home at 48 balls or less. Just 25 seconds to get into this very first game that me and Jordy are going to be live with you guys for of this new year, as we've been taking a little break from Pilot TV, celebrating the holiday season, going out to see family and having a great time, just relaxing a little bit. And finally, we're back here once again to give out some great jackpots as we stream live to you.
Different jackpots for the last 7 days, and our total for season 14 ended up finishing off at 615 jackpots. That's an amazing one to see.
Yeah, it definitely was a great season 14. And we've yet to give out a jackpot in this season 15. And so no jackpots yesterday, as that is the only day of season 15 that we've played through so far. But I think we're going to be changing that today, as we already got that major prize at a jackpot amount. And hopefully we see a lucky player take that one home as we continue to play this game day bingo.
Yes, that's right. But we do have those final 15 jackpot winners from season 14. And so we definitely want to be highlighting those lucky players as we started off on Friday, as Dalton was playing over at HR Pesties while getting to take home $956.
Good job to Dalton. I'm going to assume it's Andy Dalton, just the beige water pistol out there
Mm.
playing some pilot games. We also had Herb over at Double Wide taking home $868.
Nicely done. We had a lot more jackpots on Friday, though, as our next one ended up going out to JDJC. They were playing over at Tootsie's and got to take home $680.
Yeah, good job to those great winners. In college, my running back duo was a duo of JDJC, as I had Josh
Ooh.
Donald and Joe Connor as
Mm-hmm.
my two running backs in
That's some good
college. So
stuff.
good job to JDJC. Don't assume that you're those players, but good job taking home that nice win. We did have a split win go out on our next prize that Friday. $1,250 went out to each of these players as they split up $2,500. And that was Miss Betty over at Charlie Sneeson's Bar and DNR over at American Legion Anoka.
Absolutely. That was the final pilot payday game of 2023. Awesome stuff. But we do have Bill Mund over at the Palmer House getting to take away that Musco prize, $11.30. Nicely done to that great player in this first round of Game Day Bingo for that we're here live.
Yeah, as we now get enrolled into this game number 2, that minor prize will be coming available at 54 balls or less. Major prize still at 53 balls or less and 48 balls or less for this mega. But back to the bingo, as we have one final jackpot to highlight. And it was actually the largest jackpot to go out on that Friday, $7,414. And that went out to Lou over at the Town Tavern.
Absolutely, but that's not the final jackpot we got to go over. We have still about 7 more jackpots as we ended up starting out Saturday as Toka was playing over at Wild Bill's Sports Saloon, Apple Valley. They got to take home a split win with Cold as Ice, who was playing over at the Municipal Liquor Store Akeley, as they both got to take home prizes of $1,631. Nicely done to each of those players, taking home that great cash prize.
Been a while since I've listened to that song, Cold as Ice.
It's a good one.
Yeah, it is a good one. We did have Bob Track 6 take home that next prize on that lovely Saturday over at American Legion Lake Crystal. They took home $707 on that lovely Saturday.
Nicely done. Next up, we have the largest jackpot win of the entire weekend. That was right. It went out to Randy on Saturday. It was also the final one of that day. Randy was playing over at Hugo's Bowling Center and took home $10,977 while playing. Nicely done to Randy. Randy.
Yeah, we went bowling on our little break from Pilot TV as
Yes, we
a
did.
little pre-Christmas
Yeah, the Friday before
celebration. Yeah,
Christmas.
it was a super fun time. Hopefully, you had fun over at that Hugo's Bowling Center.
Oh,
I know
yeah.
we had a good time bowling. As
Yeah, we're big fans of bowling.
whenever we go, we really enjoy it. We don't go enough, as we
No.
just don't have enough friends to just like go bowling, and we're not willing to go bowling just by ourselves as like a little date for us. And so
That'd be kind of funny.
that would be kind of funny. I wouldn't mind it. It wouldn't be the worst thing. We could get like 4
I
games
was gonna
out in an
say,
hour,
yeah.
so it would be quick, and you
Mhm.
wouldn't have to wait for your next throw, which would be nice. But good job to Randy taking home that awesome jackpot prize. Next jackpot is starting off our Sunday prizes, as we had JJS over at American Legion Shakopee taking home $6,842.
Nicely done. Taking home that awesome prize, JJS. Our next up jackpot went out to Colleen as they were playing over at American Legion Monticello. $736 going out to you, Colleen.
Good job to you. We do have balls dropping now in this game number 2 of Game Day Bingo. That minor prize now at $55. You could take home in 54 balls or less. Major prize at $5,260. You could take home in 53 balls or less. And mega prize at $36,000 at 48 balls or less. We already got players 18 balls away. We'll see if they can quickly move their way towards these jackpot prizes as we continue to talk about those jackpot prizes that finished off our weekend.
Absolutely. We had even more going out as Bren over at the Bedrock took home $1,221 while playing on Sunday. Nicely done to Bren.
Yeah, and perfect for a New Year's Eve celebration. Happy New York over at the
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Yeah, that would be what it is. I just uh Whistle Binkies on the Lake. They took up $2,121. Good job to Happy New Year. And hopefully you guys are ready to have a great 2024.
Yeah, Whistle Binkies on the Lake is another one of those locations that really intrigues me off the
I
name.
just want to know what it's at. Like, what
Yes,
is the
there needs to
location
be a
style?
lake at least by it.
I kind of picture it as we went to a concert over Christmas, and we then went to a little bar that it kind of had its entire bar shape was a barrel.
Hmm.
And I thought, maybe a binkies could be shaped like a barrel as well, but I don't know. It feels like it could be that kind of establishment.
I like our creativity on this one, and I can't wait to see when we're out in Minnesota. Maybe we'll take a stop over there just to see what it's about.
Yeah, probably just a great local bar. We got Sparks over at JD's Outpost landing that final jackpot that we gave out in that season 14, and the last jackpot that we've given out on live on Pilot TV, and that was $6,768 going out to Sparks.
Nicely done to Sparks and the entirety of that jackpot list. 15 different jackpots going out to finish off season 14. We absolutely love to see it, and hopefully you guys had a great time this past holiday weekend. But we got some winners here as TNC as well as Yep are both getting to split up that great Musco prize of $10.90 in the second round of Game Day Bingo. Make sure you guys continue to get enrolled in our third one. We just got all 3 of those jackpots continuing to grow in.
We absolutely do. Do not miss out 56 balls or less for that minor prize. If you guys are big into playing Pilot games, a great way to stay up to date with all of our great gaming action is giving us a like and follow on our Facebook page. To find our page, all you got to do is search up Pilot Games and click on our logo. Then you'll be able to see weekly bingo schedules, event details and reminders, big progressives, player pictures, and so much more. There's also that website link at the very top of that Facebook page, which is our link tree that has links to our bar locations where you can play that Pilot Games, pgl.world where you can sign up to be a part of the Pilot Gambling League, even our social medias like Twitter and Instagram. There's a lot of different options on that Facebook page for you guys to enjoy. So if you're an avid Pilot Games player, I definitely encourage you to give it a like and follow.
Absolutely. You're able to stay up to date with everything you need. But if you guys want to stay up to date with what's in store for you today, we're going to run through the entirety of that schedule on what you guys can expect and where the money's at. We're in these awesome game day bingo games where you guys get your day started off with each and every day from 12 to 1. At 1 p.m., Ian and I will go off air, but you guys will get to continue playing into your first opportunity of Lucky 4 Bingo for the day. It's got over $105,645 on the line. That is an insane prize. You guys definitely need to be coming out for it at 1 p.m.
By far the largest jackpot available today, but it won't be your final opportunity at 1 p.m. as you'll play a little bit more game day bingo running from 1 to 4. Whatever these prizes have grown to during this lunchtime that me and Jordy have not been able to give out, you guys will be working on those prizes from 1 to 4. And then right at 4 p.m., you'll get that second opportunity at Lucky 4 Bingo, another shot at that $105,000. And it could be even larger if it didn't go out at 1 p.m.
Absolutely. And after that 4 p.m. time of Lucky 4 Bingo, you guys are going to be jumping into some happy hour when Ian and I are back here live for 2 hours during that time from 4 to 6. And we're running through 23 games of Skull Bingo. We got some great prizes like that line prize that has already grown to $298 at 10 balls or less. The large frame at $1,264 that can be taken home in 43 balls or less. Not to mention that coverall jackpot, $8,447. That can be taken home in 50 balls or less. You'll definitely want to be coming out for Skull Bingo when Ian and I are here from 4 to 6. At 6 p.m., we'll go off air, but you guys will jump into your final opportunity for Lucky 4 Bingo right at that 6 p.m. time.
Yeah, it could be the largest prize to go out at 6 p.m. But then from 6 all the way to 6:40, you'll be hopping back into that game day bingo action. Whatever those prizes grew to, ending off at that 4 p.m., you'll be picking right back up at 6 p.m. At 6:40, though, we'll be interrupting that game day bingo that normally runs from 6 to 10 with one of our PGL specialty nights. Tonight's PGL specialty night, MegaSota game night. It gets started at 6:40 every single Tuesday. It's going to be your first opportunity to see Tony and Nikki in 2024 giving out great PGL points along with some amazing prizes. They'll be ending off that great MegaSota game night opportunity with a little jackpot jungle action. Well, you'll have an opportunity at $20,938 if you win it in 54 balls or less. So definitely come out for MegaSota game night with all that awesome PGL action. But if you are a fan of that PGL action, I encourage you to come out to a different night as well.
Absolutely. They're the first two specialty nights of season 15. You absolutely need to be a part of it. MegaSota game night tonight at 6:40. But if you guys want to come out for the specialty night that Ian and I get the privilege of hosting, come out tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Each and every week on Wednesday at 7, we jump into a Wild Wednesday awesome PGL specialty night where we have our own tournament style games and big PGL prizes to be going out. You'll definitely want to get enrolled and get involved in all the great opportunities we have because we are starting fresh for season 15 in this great season for PGL action. If you plan on coming out for either specialty nights tonight or tomorrow, you need to make sure you are signed up for PGL.world and you can earn the PGL points for this upcoming season.
Absolutely. Should be a great time. We have one other specialty broadcast that will be coming to you guys live, and that's Vikings Game Day, as we have the last regular season matchup of the season, and we're taking on our NFC North rival, the Detroit Lions. Should be a lot of fun. I'll be coming live at 12 o'clock on Sunday. Should be a lot of fun as we watch that kickoff in the first half of that awesome Vikings Lions matchup this weekend.
We do have Phil M at the Sportsman's Pub getting to take away that must go prize, $10.30 in this third round of Game Day Bingo. Nicely done to Phil M. Make sure you guys continue to get enrolled in what will be a game number 4 next, as you guys will get more opportunities at these awesome Game Day Bingo prizes.
Yeah, 58 balls or less for that minor prize. That's when I start to get a little twitchy to give it out. I'm ready, as 54 balls or less, high likelihood to see a lucky player get it on their iPad. 2 minutes and 20 seconds to get into this game. And as you guys are getting enrolled into this game, we have some national days we'd like to highlight.
Oh, we got some awesome ones. Our first one is National Cream Puff Day. And National Cream Puff Day on January 2nd is for the dessert and pastry lovers alike to celebrate this delicious French creation all day long.
Absolutely. Are you a cream puff fan?
Absolutely.
That seems like your kind of dessert. It's light, airy, it's got nice sweetness to it. It's not
I
too
love
heavy on the stomach.
pastry. Yeah.
It seems right up your alley. Now, what do you pair a cream puff with? Because I feel like you might want to pair it with something.
So it depends on the cream puff I'm getting.
Okay.
Growing up, my grandma and I used to have tea parties together and we would host high
Okay.
teas and there was always cream puffs and eclairs. And so That was, like, the most nostalgic way to have them
What
was with
kind of tea
her.
do you picture having with it? Do you have any kind of tea you
Just like a
actually
vanilla
envision?
chamomile. Like, that was what I
Okay.
liked as a child,
Yes,
because I
obviously.
would my grandma would have the little sugar cubes, and I could put it in a vanilla chamomile tea, and I
Yeah.
would sleep the night away at her house with sleeping over at my grandparents' house, and I loved it. I would really do anything. I love a good tea. I specifically, when going dessert, I like a spiced tea, whether it be a chai or um really any spiced tea in general, I'm a big fan of,
Oh,
because you can typically go like a more sweet, creamier route with that, and it'll
yes.
pair nicely with your pastries. But for cream puffs specifically, I the best way I remember having it was a hot fudge cream puff, and
Ooh.
because at my local diner growing up, they would have these giant cream puffs that were dunked in melted chocolate,
Mm,
split, and they would put vanilla ice cream and like fresh made whipped cream in it,
yes.
and it was the best way to have it
Oh, oh,
by far.
yeah, that sounds delicious. I would prefer the fudge cream puff. That sounds delicious. Well, you know how I was saying that they're light and airy. Well, this one wasn't as light and airy as the largest cream puff was
Whoa.
125 and a half pounds. It was created August 11th, 2011 at the Wisconsin State Fair by Dave Schmidt and Team Cream Puff. The Wisconsin State Fair is known for its dairy bakery and been producing cream puffs during the fair since 1924.
Sounds delicious. I couldn't
Absolutely.
imagine how much dough and cream you have to use to get it to weigh 125 pounds though. Like
How
these
physically large to scale is that cream puff at that point?
these ingredients are supposed to be like weightless, and
Yeah.
so it's just really really awesome to think that they were able to accomplish that.
That had to be like almost a full story large. It feels like it would have to
Oh
be
yeah.
that big to weigh that much. Well, definitely a cool one. Cream puffs started making their way into American restaurants around 1851, and we've been loving them ever since. Definitely enjoy a cream puff on today, as it's a delicious dessert. But this one is a great, delicious form of eating,
I
as
could get behind this
this
today.
this is sometimes in you get me in the right mood. This is probably my favorite way of eating.
Absolutely. We used to live, okay, we'll just tell you National Buffet Day. On January 2nd, National Buffet Day recognizes a popular dining destination for Americans. The buffet restaurant offers a variety of selections, making it possible for every member of the family to find exactly what they want to eat. We used to live in a college town. We had buffets all over the place. We had a pizza buffet place, we had Chinese buffet, and it was
It was
beautiful.
an awesome time. I when I was really early living there, I went to the Chinese buffet a lot. That
Yeah, when I
was
first moved to college, that was like my hole in the wall find that no one went to other than
Oh,
people who live
locals.
there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that was a local spot. It was a super fun
So
spot.
good.
Then you always have those certain places where you never had a bad experience. You went there 20, 25, 30 times, and then you have that one bad experience where you get a little bit of bad food and you're like, I don't really this it scares me
That's what
to eat.
happened with me at one specific Chinese restaurant in our town,
Okay.
and you were with me while it happened,
Yes, yes.
and it definitely scarred me. I don't think I've eaten that specific Dragon Express since that incident.
No, no, we do have Sue's over at the Harbor Bar and Restaurant taking home an awesome Musco prize of $11. Great job to you, Sue's, as we now get enrolled into a game number 5. In this game 5, that minor prize is clicking up to 60 balls or less. And as you guys are getting after in this game, we're going to continue talking about the awesome buffets that we've experienced. But then
Yes.
later on in our living in Mount Pleasant, we actually started to go more to the pizza buffet. That was an awesome stop. It was right around the corner from the Pilot Games office where we were living next to. And it was just a great place to, drive 15 minutes, even sometimes on lunch breaks in between broadcasts. We'd go there, mow down on some pizza at a buffet, get unlimited drinks,
It was
unlimited.
very much like a home style CC's buffet. If you know what a CC's pizza looked like, it was
Absolutely.
like home cooked CC's like pizza, but that very much reminded me of their spreads between like the various toppings and like the cinnamon pizza they'd put out and
Hmm.
stuff. It very much reminded me of that.
Yeah, definitely an awesome one on today.
But you know what buffet I distinctly remember? Have you ever been to an old country buffet?
An old country buffet, like
That's
a
the name of it, Old Country Buffet.
Is it something similar to like a why am I blanking on it?
It's got food from everywhere, essentially.
Yeah, yeah. I've went to gosh, why am I blanking? Old Corral.
I've never been to an old corral.
Old Corral is a very it's got
Golden Corral.
Golden Corral.
I've
That's
never
what
been
it
to a
is.
golden corral,
Yes,
but
it's a Golden Corral. That's what I'm talking
are they
about.
are those buffets?
Yeah, those are big buffet style
Wow.
eating arrangements where you have food from all different types of
Places.
yeah places. And it's not as big variety wise. It's a lot of your classics, just
Just
meat,
home style
potatoes,
cooks, yeah.
biscuits, and all those different great
Pasta and
stuff. Yeah, exactly. You can get slices of pizza too and stuff like that. And then the best part was that it had its own self-serve ice
ice
cream
cream.
machine, and then you could
Absolutely.
go and
Those are
get
like the best. Every buffet has that soft serve ice cream you finish off
and
with.
you can get like 4 bowls of it as a kid, and it was just a great time. So yeah, I haven't went since because the last few times I've went to Golden Corrals, it just has not been cleansely
Sanitary, yeah.
sanitary, and so then I've kind of not went to them in
Yeah.
a while, but I wouldn't be against it if I had a group of friends that were like, we want that buffet style eating.
I am very much person that like would like to try everything under the sun, and especially things that have gotten hype behind them at least at one point in their
Yeah.
lives. Like I very much want to try Golden
Yeah.
Corral. I there's like very strange places that may not be high on people's list, like a Sonic. I had never been to a Sonic,
Yes.
and I just really wanted to try a
You
Sonic so
finally tried
badly.
it.
Finally tried it, scratched off my list. Won't be returning, but I I need to try various things like that, and so I'm excited, and it will be added to our
Yeah,
list.
as someone who had Sonic before and not a huge fan of
He
Sonic.
talked down so badly
And
about
she was
it.
like "I wanna go to Sonic,
I
I
was like,
wanna
"It's
go to"
just so cheap, and it's got mozzarella sticks." I was like, "I just want to try it."
and I was like, "It's not that good." It's
So one day I was driving through the town near us that had the Sonic, and I was like, "You know what? I'm hungry. I'm alone. I'm gonna stop and get
right,
Sonic."
and
I sat in that parking lot, and I think I maybe ate 2 bites.
yeah, and I'm glad I didn't eat it. Well, we'll move on to our next national day. Happy National Buffet Day. Enjoy a delicious buffet wherever you're at on today. Next up is National Personal Trainer Awareness Day. Personal Trainer Awareness Day kickstarts the year on January 2nd with a day to appreciate the professionals who help us to keep our resolutions one step at a time.
Absolutely. Sometimes you just need that extra helping hand to make sure you're pushing yourself to accomplish those goals you need physically. And I've honestly got to see a really beneficial way this has worked out for my best friend who has
Hmm.
just recently hired in a personal trainer who is specializing in her dietitian and
Yeah.
like her dietary needs, and the way that she has helped my best friend in the last 2 months
Uh
alone
huh.
is really, really awesome to see. And so this is a great national day to celebrate on
Hmm.
today.
Oh yeah, no, as I've always been like super ingrained in sports and everything like that. I've never thought of getting my own personal
Yeah, you
trainer.
are the trainer.
I've had people train me throughout like through sports throughout
Yeah,
my whole life. They've taught me, all those simple
everything you
things.
need to know.
But then I didn't realize till like I started hanging out with non-collegiate athletes and stuff like that that
Hmm.
people don't know these fitness things that are just super simple things that you can change in your day-to-day basis that can completely 180 your fitness journey, and all you need is those few little tweaks from a personal trainer that can really set you on the right track for 2024. We do have a winner here, as we have two winners. We have Player over at the Old Piper in Lakeville and Dino over at American Legion Painesville. Good job to both those players, splitting up $15 as we get enrolled into our game number 6. Once again, our jackpot prize will be growing and rolling into this next game, clicking up to 62 balls or less.
Absolutely. But happy National Personal Trainer Awareness Day. If that sounds like the extra kick that you need, maybe that is something to explore into incorporating into your physical regime.
And yeah, just thinking about this personal trainers, like even with me and you, like a lot of times when we go to the gym together, we don't want to work out together, and we're doing our own separate things and you're doing your own thing. But there's probably times where you're questioning whether you're doing stuff right and you don't have someone to just, question,
Hmm.
what's the proper form, avoiding injury, because that's one of the biggest things that I think people who actually get on consistent, uh, consistent routines with their personal training, what derails them is it's two things. It's getting sick, and it's getting an injury, and then you have to skip 5 days of going to the gym, and then you don't have that. When you have a personal trainer waiting for you at the end, you have someone helping you through whatever injury, or helping you even prevent those
I
injuries.
was gonna say, if you guys don't have the prior knowledge of how to use specific things like equipment and weightlifting at the gym, look up videos on and look at what personal trainers have to say before you go and potentially hurt
Yeah,
yourself.
the beauty of YouTube. We got just 1 minute and 3 seconds to get enrolled into this next one. This next little topic is a fun one, as it's National Science Fiction Day. National Science Fiction Day promotes the celebration of science fiction as a genre, its creators, history, and various media too. On January 2nd, annually, millions of science fiction fans across the United States read and watch favorites in their science fiction. It's definitely an awesome day to celebrate, as science fiction is a huge genre. Whether you're talking about books, you're talking about movies, you're talking about TV shows, you're talking about yeah,
Comics galore.
whatever it is, it's a huge genre that has a lot of people super interested, as it kind of you can find yourself really getting entertained.
Absolutely. I'm a big fan of the science fiction genre in general. When I was a child, this was one that really I did not enjoy. I don't know what it was, but I like looked down upon aliens and the concept of that
Oh yeah.
because it was like early 2000s TV very heavily pushed one narrative of people who liked aliens.
Oh yeah.
So as a kid, that was the narrative that I leaned towards.
Uh-huh.
And as I got older and I just started having a more appreciation for storytelling in general,
Yes.
I feel like now I definitely have a big love for the science fiction genre.
Yeah, yeah. Would that be would Star Wars be science
Yes.
fiction?
Yes.
Yeah, I didn't know. Yeah, that's was it. So as a Star Wars.
Space, technology,
Yeah, yeah.
anything like
I
that.
obviously knew that like Back to the Future was science fiction, but
Yes.
I wasn't sure if like, because it's a galaxy far, far away from our current existence, like a
Yes.
long, long time ago,
Mhm.
which science fiction is usually projecting like the future evolution of technology.
Yeah.
But that's where I started questioning it. But Star Wars, as a Star Wars fan, love the science fiction genre. I got into alien space, all the spaceships, buying all the little toys for all those different things as a kid. Got me
Mhm.
just so into the science fiction genre. And then you continued into like dystopian science fiction
That's
as we
where
got
I really
older.
found my niche that I liked.
Where that I feel like really came into fold with Hunger Games, Maze Runner,
Divergent.
Divergent. All those books really became popular at
Yeah.
one point, and then they all had their movie
Ender's
series
Game
coming out
and
at the same time,
yeah.
and super good. Ender's Game gets underrated because the movie I didn't think was that good, but
Yeah.
the book is one of those that can really
That
draw
was
you in.
the first science fiction book that I genuinely just couldn't put down and
Yeah.
enjoyed.
Yeah, it really gets you. So definitely a fun genre on today. Do you have a favorite uh little
Science
piece?
fiction.
Yeah, piece of that genre.
I would either have to say The Giver for nostalgic reasons,
Okay.
or I very much enjoyed science fiction. Um
Are you thinking books or movies?
I liked the Giver movie too.
Mm-hmm.
Just in general, I was just thinking
Yeah.
media, that would be my favorite.
We do have a
But
winner
yeah.
before you make your decision. We got a split win between loser Steve as well as Steve. They're going to be both playing at VFW Spring Lake Park, splitting up $24.80 in this game number 6. We'll now be getting enrolled into a game number 7 with that minor prize clicking up from 62 to 64 balls or less. Getting more exciting as we continue to get enrolled into this game. As we are getting enrolled into this game, do not miss out. We're going to continue to talk about science fiction as a genre,
Yeah.
and
For the book, I'd say The Giver, and for a movie, I'll say Jurassic Park.
Jurassic Park, fun stuff. I don't know. It's probably Star Wars for
Yeah.
everything for me. I love Star Wars growing up,
Mhm.
and even though I'm not as big of a fan of the newest trilogy that came out. It's a kids show
Yeah,
that I really fell in
absolutely.
love with. I even loved the cartoons growing up, and
Yeah.
so
The Clone
Star
Wars
Wars.
or whatever it was.
Yeah, for sure. So fun. Well, happy National Science Fiction Day. As we're getting enrolled into this next game, we do have a bit of Twins news we can hop into as we check in to see is Twins prospect Walker Jenkins the next big thing in baseball. According to Jonathan Mayo and Jim Callis of MLB.com, that could be a reality by the end of the 2024 season. In a recent episode on the MLB Pipeline podcast, Mayo and Callis predicted big things for the 18-year-old outfielder. I just think that Walker Jenkins has the chance to put up some pretty big numbers right away, says Mayo, when predicting his pipeline hitter of the year. I have confidence in Jenkins to put up some big numbers. Minnesota selected Jenkins with the fifth overall pick in last July's MLB draft, coming out of high school in North California.
Carolina.
Yes, thank you. Jenkins didn't wait long to make a impact, slashing a .362, a .417, and a .571 in 105 at-bats across rookie league and single A, hitting 3 home runs and 22 RBIs while striking out 14 times in only 26 games. Definitely a good upside look for Walker Jenkins as he's still so young. There's still so much to be discovered about this prospect, but for him to already be showing such consistency at the at bat and showing other good, great potential, I think we'll be seeing him in a Twins jersey up in the big leagues in no time.
Absolutely. And if you want to show your support for our twins in the meantime, go and check out the great eTab game that we've teamed up with them for called Twins Win. You guys can play it wherever you play Pilot games and check out the Home Run Derby bonus round where if you pick a lucky batter, you can end up taking home a Grand Slam prize.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot of fun. We love playing those awesome, great ETAB games themed after our Minnesota sports teams. As right now, we're playing one of our live bingos themed after our Minnesota sports team, this Wild Game Day Bingo. And as we're having fun, we're working on a 54 ball or less minor jackpot, $68 there, $5,351 at that 53 ball count for that major prize. And then the mega jackpot, $36,000 you could take home in 48 balls or less with JSP 11 balls away. As you guys are working in this game, you guys are actually earning points towards the game day bingo standings, which we actually just restarted these bingo standings for season 15. But we want to talk about the finish standings from season 14 and who ended up being the best player in season 14 in these game day bingo games.
We're going to let you know in just a sec, but I'm going to start off in 10th place for these final standings. On the player side, in 10th place, we have Nan, who plays over at Corky's Bar, South Haven, finished strong with 65,000 points. 71,000 points for 9th place, Towley over at Carboni's
Eighth
Pizza.
place.
Oh, I skipped over 10th place. I'm sorry about that. 10th place is actually Brizo at Pub 500. They finished off those standings, currently sat with 63,000 points. Then Ann was in that 9th place spot with 65,000 over at Corky's Bar. 8th place is Towley at Carboni's Pizza CR Billiards. Towley currently finished off the season with 71,000 points. Then with 78,000 points, we finished off with a tie going on in 6th place. It's between Why Not Me at Beatles Bar and Grill and Super D at the Shore at 96. Now ahead of them in 5th place, we had Mad Dog over at Eakin's Arms Public House. They finished off with a three-way tie actually in 5th place. We all finished off with that 78,000 points. Mad Dog, Why Not Me, and Super D. Before I talk about those top 4 though, we do have a winner here.
Yeah, we got that split win of $29. Surprising we didn't give out that minor prize as it clicks past that 64 ball count. But Jeff, as well as Bob, you're splitting up $29.30. Susie Q, Steve, Tab, that's all of our winners in that great game as they all split up that great Musco as we now get enrolled into our game number 8, we still have that minor prize available. We rarely see it get to 66 balls or less, and I've never seen it to get to 68 balls or less. So get enrolled, press play, over $200 available on that minor jackpot. As Jordy just talked about, an amazing tie in fifth place between Why Not Me, Super D, and a Mad Dog to finish off that standings. All of them wanted to be in our top five player standings.
Absolutely. All finished in that tie. Well, in fourth place, we have Mike over at the Sherwood Lounge. They finished off with 100,000 points on the season. Right ahead of them with 103,000 points for season 14. In third place, we had Rock Rider over at the Incline Station Bowling Center. Mikey Mike finished off strong in second place over at the Old Piper in Blaine with 105,000 points. Then, nobody's surprised here as taking away that first place spot for 2 seasons in a row. Call Me Jen over at JR Mac finished with 243,000 points.
Great job to Call Me Jen, earning so many points in those standings. It's been great to watch you dominate this season and winning a game day bingo season once again. Now, on to the locations that have been benefiting from some of these top players playing at them. In 10th place, we got Eagles Mankato with 140,000 points. With 147,000 points in ninth, we have Shady's Railside. Eighth place is the Sherwood Lounge with 155,000 points, as Leo's Bar Newmarket sits in seventh with 166,000 points. With 142,000 points in sixth place, we have the Boulevard Tavern, as our fifth place location is the Country Lounge with 186,000 points. With 196,000 points in fourth place, it's the Old Piper in Blaine. Third place is J.R. Mack with 285,000 points. As our second location, starting off the 300,000 point club, it's VFW Spring Lake Park with 328,000 points. But that number one location and taking home the victory as the top location in game day bingo for that season 14, it is Carboni's Pizza CR Billiards, taking home 366,000 game day bingo points in this season 14. It's been awesome to watch you win so many jackpot prizes, so many must-goes, as a bunch of great players are playing there over at Carboni's Pizza CR Billiards.
Nicely done to Call Me Jen in that player standings and Carboni's Pizza on the locations. If you guys want your names called out, make sure you guys play each and every game day bingo opportunity that you can for season 15 to ensure your spot in our standings.
Well, if you don't want to play our live bingo, how about check out our e-tabs? We have so many different options you can play on our e-tabs. One of our new e-tab games is Sherlock Holmes, where you can don your detective cap in 3 fantastic bonus rounds. You will not want to miss out, as you got a wheel bonus. You have the Sherlock's coin bonus, as you also got that Where's Watson skill challenge, where you can actually earn statewide leaderboard points that get posted on the Facebook every single week. That's super fun to compete for, and it doesn't affect your eTab standings. It's just a great game that you can have a little fun with as you're playing that awesome eTab game, Sherlock Holmes.
Absolutely, but that if that doesn't sound up to your fancy, we have over 70 different games, and there are a wide variety of different themes that you guys can go and check out. All of those games have huge prize up to $1,500, and they even have small bets, including from 50 cents to $5. There's awesome bonus rounds and free play rounds that are all individual to those great eTab games that you guys can go and check out.
Yeah, it's always fun playing those eTab games. Jordy, do you have a new eTab game for the new year that you would like to highlight?
Oh, I will be highlighting a little Winter Wonderland. It is
Ooh.
an awesome eTab game that you guys definitely need to be going and checking out.
Yeah, and as the snow's falling, it's definitely a great time to do so. As we are based here in Michigan, we have yet to have any of our snow stick, which has been kind of interesting so far this December. But I expect it to get a little bit more snow this January, February. You know how it gets; it always gets worse in those months. We do have a jackpot winner though in this one, as things are getting good for GIKKC over at Mully's on Madison, taking home $225.82. Great job to you taking home that awesome prize in this game number 8. will now be getting enrolled into a game number 9, with that jackpot prize reverting back to 52 balls or less on the minor as it grows once again. Still that major prize at 53 balls or less, a mega prize at 48 balls or less. Don't forget about that $45 Musco prize that's also going to be growing and rolling for a double Musco action in this game 9.
Absolutely. And as you guys are getting enrolled in this game 9, we're going to be talking about some of the great things that have happened on today in music history. Because again, if you didn't know, on today in 1993, with the last song charting at number 24, Elton John logs his 23rd consecutive year with a song in the US Hot 100 list, breaking Elvis's record. Elton's streak started in 1970 with the Border song, and then continues all the way into the 2000s with Someday Out of the Blue, stretching to the new record of 31 years.
Wow. So this is just when he broke that record. He did continue on to do it for another, what is that,
Yeah, 7.
8 years? It just ridiculous, absolutely crazy stuff from Elton John. He put out just big time hit after big time hit. Definitely a fun one on today. As I don't know what would be my favorite of the Elton John hits.
Um,
I need to actually do some
Goodbye to
more
Yellow Brick
research
Road.
on Elton John because he's put out so much music throughout our lifetime, and released new music throughout that time, that I just need to like look at all of his different albums, actually like listen through some of his stuff because
Yeah, there's
there's a
I'm Still Standing. I personally, I know it's like his biggest song, but Goodbye Yellow Brick Road is so, so good.
oh yeah, that one's definitely a big one as
Can You Feel the
well.
Love Tonight?
Rocket Man.
Rocket Man, yeah.
Yeah, there's
What Are
some.
Friends For?
Yeah.
Candle in the Wind.
So many good ones. It makes sense how he broke the record of getting 31 years of songs in the Hot 100, which is just so impressive just because of the sheer amount of catchy tunes that he put out there that people like, spanning a multitude of genres, it felt like, as he had ones where you wanted to get up and dance, others where you just want to sit down and curl up a little bit.
Absolutely, but Elton John is just a timeless classic, and his career has spanned 4 decades now, and he has just really been an iconic singer. And seen just this past 2 years how many people have all come out throughout the entirety of our country for his farewell tour, the Goodbye the
Mhm.
Yellow Brick Road tour, and it's just really awesome how much he's been able to accomplish. He's got the movie Rocket Man based after him now, and this is definitely a fun day to celebrate a little Elton John.
Definitely. Next up in 2010, Kesha's first single, TikTok, hits number 1 on the Hot 100, where it stays for 9 weeks, making it the longest running chart topper in the 2010s. Funny enough, we now have a social media platform that is named it has the same name as the song, but has no relation.
This song altered my brain. This, like, awoke something in me. I was 10 years old. I was just realizing what, like, teen girls were
Yeah.
doing in the 2010s,
Uh
and
huh.
it wasn't wholesome. And so, glitter and all that, I was like, this is insane and awesome.
This is so
And
cool.
I listened to this song. I probably watched the music video to this song just an absurd amount of times on YouTube.
That's so funny to think about. Yeah,
Yeah. And then there was parodies made of this song
I did
because
the
that was like right at the
parodies
heart of that time too in 2010,
because you
2011.
could just find anything on YouTube.
Like the Key of Awesome, they
Yeah.
did a lot of these,
Hmm.
and I really enjoyed those as well as a young, annoying child.
Yeah, I like the parody songs. I wasn't the
Yeah.
biggest fan of TikTok
Oh, I had to
itself
dance to
as a
it.
song.
Yeah.
That does not surprise me.
Mhm.
Surprisingly enough, I feel like TikTok would have done well in this now TikTok day and age. It would probably have
Absolutely.
blown up on social
I
media.
also loved it when it was put on Just Dance as one of the
Oh, I
songs.
do remember that. I do remember that. That was a good Just Dance.
Yeah, absolutely. Big fan of Kesha.
Well, definitely a cool one in music history. 2 good days in music history. Maybe listen to a little Elton John or some TikTok by Kesha. Whatever it is, you're celebrating the days in music history. We do have a nice double Musco prize going out in this game number 9. TNC over at Maynard's Restaurant Rogers, taking home $63.50 on the Musco. Now getting enrolled into a game number 10 with a minor prize, clicking up to 54 balls or less.
Absolutely. Nicely done to TNC. Make sure you guys continue to get enrolled, though. But in the meantime, if you guys want to get enrolled into something awesome, it only takes about 26 seconds to do it. Go get enrolled at pgl.world today. You guys can go and become members of the Pilot Gambling League and be able to earn the PGL points that we talk about all the time on our specialty nights like MegaSota Game Night and Wild Wednesday. You also get access to insider information like the monthly newsletter that'll get sent out to the email you go and sign up with. We also love highlighting all the different players who go and sign up in our little member spotlight.
Oh yeah, and some new members who just got signed up are Tams Malt 4, Jabber 469, Killian, Rosie 89, Tag, Danny Kitty, Bold Moves, McGee, Marlin, Elpen 17, Drewski, Frofro, as well as City Angel 80. Good job to each and every one of those players getting signed up at pgl.world. Hopefully you come out tonight, as this will be the first opportunity to earn some PGL points in this season 15. So maybe you could be the first player to get that first place spot, as it's always a lot of fun coming out on those PGL nights. But I want to talk about our awesome PGL standings as they finished off in that season 14.
That's right, this player is getting their name engraved. It's a great day to be one of these PGL players, and starting it off in 10th place, it's Turbert at the Broadway Pizza Brooklyn Park. They finished strong with 1,130,950 points. Ninth place is TTWL69 over at the Atomic Star Tavern. They got to finish strong with 1,146,210 points. With 1,184,415 points in 8th place, we have OE50 over at the Stanchion Bar. 7th place ended up being Sloppy at Malone's Bar and Grill. They have 1,287,040 points. With 1,304,065 points in 6th place, we have Mad Dog over at the Still Wolf. 5th place ended up being Brizo at the Underground Bar and Grill. They have 1,418,670 points. With 1,428,455 points in 4th place, it's Rakuda over at the Alibi of Gilbert. 3rd place is Yak over at the Stanchion Bar, who has 1,536,985 points. But now into our top 2, it's Drumskeet over at the Underground Bar and Grill. They have 2,101,464 points. Then for our number 1 PGL player of season 14, it's Outlaw 21 over at the Boulevard Bar and Grill. They have 2,408,350 points. Nicely done to Outlaw 21.
Definitely a great job to them, earning a ton of points in that season 14. Now on to those top locations that had been earning a ton of points. In 10th place, we got Millards of Forest Lake. I think this may be the first time I've seen them in a PGL top 10. They just got there in the back end of this season, and they finished off with 1,255,830 points. 9th place was Malone's Bar and Grill Maple Grove with 1,287,040 points. With 1,293,155 points in 8th place, we got O'Brien's Pub in Rice. 7th place is the Still Wolf in St. Cloud with 1,304,065 points. With 1,333,450 points in 6th place, we got Moe's in Mounds View. 6th place is the Super Bowl in Ramsey with 1,606,700 points. As in 4th place, we got the Boulevard Bar and Grill Coon Rapids with 2,463,950 points. With 2,696,400 points in 3rd place, it's the Alibi of Gilbert. 2nd place is the Stanchion Bar and Hamel with 2,721,400 points. And the only location to make it into that 3 million point club with 3,748,519 points is the Underground Bar and Grill Mankato.
Nicely done to the Underground Bar and Grill Mankato. And one more shout out to our awesome player, Outlaw 21. Nicely done to all of our PGL players this awesome season 14. Make sure you guys come on out tonight for the first specialty night of season 15 and the first opportunity to solidify your spots in the new standings.
We are about to give out this must-go prize, $14.20 already. They're a winner. We got Joyride H over at the Broadway Pizza Blaine, taking home that Musco of $14.20 in this game number 10 of Game Day Bingo. We only have two more times that we're going to be playing Game Day Bingo with you guys, as that will finish off our lunchtime bingo. Make sure you're getting roll, press play. We want to give out one more jackpot before
Absolutely.
we leave off with you guys. 56 balls or less for this minor prize that we're getting enrolled for. Still 53 balls or less for that major, and 48 balls or less for that mega. And as you guys are working on that, we do have a little bit of Minnesota Wild news we can talk about.
That's right, as they are 16, 15, and 4. The Winnipeg Jets defeated the Wild 3-2 on Sunday. Marcus Foligno and Frederick Gaudreau scored for Minnesota, which lost for the third time in 10 games. Well, that's not that bad. One of those was a 4-2 loss at Winnipeg on Saturday. Going into both games, you know it's going to be a hard fought battle. Winnipeg coach Rick Bonus said wasn't much room out there, kind of a low event game for a while. That's the way both teams play. John Hines has got these guys playing really, really hard. They're tough to play against, he was quoted to say. Well, that's not that. It's not what we love to see,
No,
but
a loss is never good to get added to the record, but if it's coming off of last 10, we're winning 8 of 10 games.
yeah.
I'm not upset by that whatsoever. Getting back up to 16 and 15 after the atrocious start that we started with Dan Evanson, and now under John Hines, completely 180, and it's looking a lot better. Like even Winnipeg coach Rick Bowens was saying,
Mhm.
John Hines has got this team playing really good, and we're excited for what this season entails as we continue on getting more excited about this Minnesota Wild team.
Absolutely. And we have a game coming up today, so we'll have to see how they play against the Flames. That'll be at 7 p.m. tonight. So make sure you guys are out there playing that Wild or that MegaSota game night tonight when the Wild take the ice. If you guys want to show your support for our Wild, you can go and play that awesome ETAB game that we have themed after them. Let's go Wild. You guys can check out that Slapshot bonus round to take home some trophy prizes as well.
Yeah, definitely some great stuff there. We're hoping to be able to start moving up in these standings as we're still behind the Blues, Coyotes, Predators, but they're all within, I feel like, striking range in the next few games. As long as we can continue on this winning style of hockey that we've been on, definitely exciting stuff to continue on through this wild season. If you guys are having a wild Pilot Games season, winning jackpot after jackpot, or just having a good time playing Pilot Games, snap a photo of it and send it to us. We love seeing jackpot photos of you holding up that jackpot message. Maybe you holding up your favorite E-Tab game, you playing Pilot Games with your friends, your favorite bartender, you just by yourself having a good time playing Pilot Games. All of those great reasons to send in a player pictures. So snap those photos and send them in by directly messaging us on Facebook, by emailing them to jackpots@pilotgames.com, or by just posting them onto any of your social media with the hashtag Pilot Games. You can see that hashtag. Actually, you can't see it as we're not getting enrolled. Once we get enrolled, you can see that hashtag right above those great player pictures that we love to show off whenever we're getting enrolled into every game.
Well, we want to talk about a little bit of some Vikings news as we are currently 7-9 on the season, and you guys have quite a bit to see who is going to be taking away these jackpots. So we're going to be jumping into that awesome news that we got going on, and it's looking like Love threw 3 touchdown passes and ran for a score to put the Packers in control of a spot in the playoffs with that 33-10 victory on Sunday after the Vikings benched another turnover-prone quarterback. That's not what we like to see. But the Vikings, who are 7-9, watched an interception and a fumble by Jaron Hall in the first half. Uh, in the first half, were converted into touchdowns by the Packers. Nick Mullins took over for the Hall for the second half, and the fifth time the Vikings have switched quarterbacks since Kirk Cousins tore his Achilles tendon in the fourth quarter of a 24-10 win at Green Bay on October 29th.
Yeah, it has been a struggle at
It's
the quarterback
crazy.
position, and you can't even blame. I see a lot of people; they're getting mad at Kevin O'Connell. They're getting mad at coaching staff. They're saying get rid of some players. This is a very, very promising football team. You have a young defense that can fly across the field. Sure, Brian Flores may be leaving after this year, but if you can find someone that instills some of those same kind of defensive mindset type things, you can get a really good defense that's developed some nice young players. Before we talk more about our Vikings, we got Rob M over at the Sidebar and Grill, taking home $18.90. Great job to you, Rob M, as we now get enrolled into this next game. As we are getting enrolled, this will be the final game of Game Day Bingo that me and Jordy are going to be live with you guys for. 58 balls or less for that minor. And sorry, Jordy, I'm just going to continue yapping and talking about our Vikings as we're going to talking about how this Vikings team is actually a lot better without a quarterback. It makes it a lot bigger struggle. And so if we can finally, probably it's not going to be till the offseason, figure out the quarterback situation, we can really be in a good spot, whether that's re-signing Kirk Cousins or looking to the future and getting a young development piece. It should be exciting. I'm still excited to see our Vikings take on the NFC North rival Lions at 12 p.m. this Sunday. I'm going to be live for that great game this Sunday, playing a little bit of game day bingo with you guys for that first half. It should be a great time.
Absolutely. You guys definitely want to be coming out for that Vikings game day this Sunday against the Lions. It should be an awesome one to watch. And if you guys want to show your support for our Vikings, go and check out the great ETAB game, Vikings Victory. Go and check out that skull bonus round and see if you can pick the lucky letter to try and take home some huge prizes.
Yeah, it's definitely a great time. You guys can also take some huge prizes in playing a great Vikings themed live bingo game, Skull Bingo. While you're playing Skull Bingo, you're actually earning points towards the Skull Bingo standings. And we have the finished standings from season 14. And let's get started off in 10th place. Barry K over at Ambiance on Albion, 152,000 points. With 157,000 points in ninth place, we got Rock Rider over the Incline Station Bowling Center. Allie over at the Little Village Pub is in eighth with 180,000 points. With 181,000 points in seventh place, it's Funk over at Carboni's Pizza CR Billiards. Sixth place is Jackie over at Outtakes with 183,000 points, as Cheese over the Beartown Lounge sits in fifth with 197,000 points. Starting off the 200,000 point club in fourth, it's Oswald over at the Friar Tuck's Pub with 204,000 points. With 247,000 points in third place, we have Fast Eddie over at Elks Lodge, Owatonna. Brother Nate over at the Chart House landed in second with 412,000 points, as Call Me Jen over at JR Mac sat in first with 71,000 points, not just winning the Skull Bingo standings, also winning the Game Day Bingo standings. That is some impressive play by you, Call Me Jen, and we're excited to see if you can go out there and show that dominance once again in this season 15.
Absolutely. But we have some locations to talk about for season 14 as they finished off strong. We start off in 10th place with MTs on 8th. They have 251,000 points. With 256,000 points in ninth place, it's Elks Lodge, Owatonna. 8th place is Friar Tuck's Pub. They have 290,000 points. Then finishing with 323,000 in 7th place, it's the Little Village Pub. Sixth place is Eagles Albert Lay as they finish strong with 340,000 points, while with 405,000 in fifth place sits Clive's Roadhouse Burnsville. Fourth place is Outtakes, they had 483,000 points, while with 550,000 in third place we have the Chart House. Second place, it's Carboni's Pizza CR Billiards, who has 636,000 points. And then to finish off season 14 in first place, it was JR Mac. They finished off with 836,000 points on the season.
Amazing job to JR Mac, as well as Call Me Jen. Home to JR Mac is the home location for Call Me Jen, and so it's been a very impressive duo, location and player, as they've led in those standings and location respectively for the entire season, it's felt like. So great stuff to them. As you guys are working on this, we're going to continue looking to see who could take home a jackpot prize, but checking in with our Timberwolves, one of the NBA's best teams, as they are 24-8 on the season. But the Knicks did just beat us 112 to 106 on Monday. That didn't mean that we didn't show some good things, as Anthony Edwards scored 35 points in his third straight game, scoring over 30 points. He's been an offensive tear. And Karl Anthony Towns snapped out of a recent scoring slump, getting 29 points in the game. But with the Wolves' bad shooting after that great start of the game, just did not be, they were never able to pick it back up, losing that game 112 to 106. We do have a game to redeem ourselves against the Lakers at 8 p.m. This will be a home matchup in Minnesota for our Timberwolves, and hopefully we can get the victory.
Absolutely. So make sure you guys are coming out to show your support for our Timberwolves. We have players one ball away, and there it is, JST over at the North Coop, taking away $28.40. Nicely done, taking away our final jackpot here on our lunchtime bingo show. As you guys are about to get enrolled in a little Lucky 4 bingo action, just this past weekend, I want to tell you about Kaz J.A. They were playing over at Friends Bar and Restaurant, took home a large jackpot of 1,400 I'm sorry, $147,692. While playing over at Friends Bar and Restaurant, they supported the St. Cloud Youth Hockey Association. They are dedicated to providing all members with a positive growing environment, which enhances a competitive spirit, defending and defining sportsmanship and respect for others through the sport of hockey.
And that is just a reminder that when you guys play pilot games, your community wins. Have a great